I think we're live. I think we're live.
Hi, happy daylight savings time.
Live. Yes. Oh my God.
So much coffee.
So much coffee.
I've actually had very little coffee, and that's my problem.
Have you?
Yay.
So what, you haven't had a lot this
Yeah,
morning?
girl, I haven't been awake very long. There's a lot of laying in bed, just like.
That's, you know what? Can I be honest? You know, while we're waiting for folks to come on.
Yeah.
That's not normal for you, but I think today, with it being daylight savings time,
we're gonna give it a pass.
It's, you know, yeah, I think we should be kind to, you know, ourselves and each other, but especially ourselves this morning. So I am getting our, well, it says that we're here on Instagram also. So
I don't see it. So I hope we're there.
Yeah. We probably aren't. So let me do that real quick while we're talking. No.
We love you guys. Thanks for waiting while we're how's your day? Put it in the chat. Especially if you're on YouTube or Facebook, because we can't see it on Instagram yet. We love you.
All right, let's see. Well, you know what it is? It is the fact that you have to tell Instagram separately that you're going live. So
we are professionals. We're professional people.
I appreciate you. I think we should be streaming on Instagram right now too. I think we should be there.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if you can see us.
We are live on there now. Yay, go us.
Yay. All right. Very good. Very good. Well, hello everybody. As we stumble through, I'll say nicely, or do what we can do this morning on our live. Happy Sunday.
Hey, happy Sunday. Yeah. Happy daylight savings time if you're in the United States. Yes. Happy Venus retrograde to no one because it's awful. I think we're going to talk about that though, right?
We're going to talk about that. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about just life be lifing. We're going to throw some cards, guys. So if you can hang in with us, we're going to throw some cards. So yeah, exactly. So I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah. Jules, what's been going on with you? Is there anything you would you don't have to share anything?
Oh, okay. You don't have to share anything, but you're a podcaster. That's what we're doing here. No, I'm kidding.
That's what we're doing.
No, it's fine. It's just a lot. I feel like a lot of my coping mechanisms have been willfully taken away by myself because, like, I'm not doing Target, I'm not doing Amazon, all that kind of stuff. And so then I'm just like, wait, what? And I'm realizing how little dopamine I get from life. And have been spending it all. So I'm trying to find new sources. Mary strong-armed me into journaling last night, which was a very good, kind friend thing to do, and I appreciate that. But I also was not the best friend when it came to, like, I was mad the whole time, y'all.
You were.
And we, like, body doubled it so she could see me, and I was just like, I hate everyone, and everything is stupid to me. Like, I've become Randall more and more.
Well,
in my
it's
age.
Not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, honestly. Journaling last night. I know I strong-armed you into it. That was a kind way of saying I bullied her into it, guys. Don't be mad, please.
It was good. I needed it. Everybody's telling me to. I tell myself to. It was a good thing.
Well, it's great with the spirits, right? Because it's like, okay, you know, I should journal. And then, like, you think it, you don't say it. And then all of a sudden, it's like your phone read your mind because there's like a journaling class that comes up, right? And then, you know, your journal that was on the shelf, like, is kind of like you notice it, or it might fall on the floor in front of you.
Right.
Or or like the pen you used to love to journal with that had disappeared all of a sudden shows up again. It's like, you
Mhm.
know what, guys? Like, I don't need this today. But after a while, it's like, oh, Julie, if you don't mind, the story I would love for you to tell about not necessarily listening to the spirit signs or noticing them is the one about the
Yeah.
birds in your car.
It's always birds. Well, and I was gonna say I got it some earlier this week too, but no. So, because you guys know I work with Bridget a lot, and I noticed, shows up a lot in birds. A lot of times geese, it could be other things, it just depends. But so Mary and I had Mary had been like, Julie, you need to submit this class to speak at a conference. And I was like, I don't know. And then I basically got like, no, you have to do this and it's going to be about Bridget. And I was like, okay. So I kept putting it off and I kept putting it off because I didn't think it would be any good. And, all that kind of like self talk crap that I
Yeah,
do
it's fun.
on the
Good
reg.
times.
Yeah, we're so nice
Yeah.
to ourselves. So I started getting like more geese across the street. I'd have like 5, and then the next day there were 10. And then like a couple days later there were like 15, and they started coming into our yard, and the kids were like, "Why are there geese in our yard?" And I was
I
like,
love
"What?"
this
And I
story.
went out there and I was like, "Okay." And so then I started working on it. And then life happened
Hmm.
and I kind of forgot. And what it was like a few days later, maybe like a week later, and I go to take Preston to school, and he's just like, "What is happening?" I open the door. Y'all, I'm not making this up because it sounds made up. There were at least 150 like little birds in all the trees over our house, just like yelling, just like talking and yelling. It was like a movie. It was like a horror movie, but it wasn't. But it's just like, what is that? And they weren't on my neighbor's yard. They weren't on my other neighbor's yard. They weren't down the street. I was like, this has got to be like a no. And
No.
Vaughn looks out the window and he's like, "What is happening?" I was like, "I don't know. Birds are weird." And I'm just like, "I'm sorry." So I was like, "Mary, I have to send this like today." And they were all gone. Like after I sent it off, they were gone.
Yeah, I mean,
Like the next day,
I,
they were gone because I
that
sent it that night.
there we go. Right. Right.
Morning.
It was funny because you were like, do you think the birds, like at first when they were like 3 or 5, we were like, do you think that means anything? And I'm like,
Said
yeah,
anything?
yeah,
It's
I
like,
think it
is it?
does. Right.
But
And
this was
then it
early
started
with
to get more
birds
and more.
too, and then
Right.
it got more
Yeah.
and more because it used to be I'd just see him like looking at me, and I was like, "Is that bird looking at me?" And I'd be like, "I don't know." And then you came to visit, and you're like, "That bird's looking at you." And I was like,
Yeah.
"I know." And
And
then they all
it
started
wasn't,
showing up in the yard.
well, it wasn't like a regular look either. So you would have a bunch of geese around, and then one of them would just like pick its head up and look right
It's
at
just
you. And
like,
it was like, oh, oh,
yeah,
got
I
it.
had one of those the other
Yeah.
day at the river. I was like, "Hey, I'm sad." And they
Hey,
were like, "We
hey,
know."
we're
But also it
around.
was kind of like, remember on Thursday when you were like, "Mary, like birds pooped on my car. Is that something?" And she was like, "Yeah, so maybe you should work on that. Maybe you should remember that." So
Maybe.
that's my bird life. That's what happens when you're a witch. I've had vultures land in front of my car. I've had 3 of those in the past year. One while I was
Yeah.
driving around down Brook Road, which is not nothing road.
Right.
And it stopped my car and then it flew away and I was like,
Hey,
"Okay,
hey,
hey."
hey,
I doubt
hi.
anybody on here except maybe my friend Dan watches Dimension 20, but in case you do, in case this hits somebody who
Right.
at Dimension 20, one of them landed in front of me while I was walking home, right around the Vulture King episode of junior year. And
Ooh.
so it was a peak hey girly moment, but I was also like, this is terrifying. Vultures are big. Okay, that's my inside joke for apparently just me and nobody else, and I'll make you watch it later. Okay. But yes, birds. There's a bunch of robins out there right now, maybe like 20.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just funny how, you kind of get hit in the face with it. Like the other day, and there's a reason why we're talking about this guy. So, take it for what it's worth. But the other day, I was like having a bad day and I do Wordle every day. And I got on my third, you can guess this word in 6 tries. And basically it's, you put a word in and it just tells you like what letters are, right. And then if they're in the right place. So anyway, long story short, I do 3 of them. I can't figure it out. I'm like, oh, I'll come back to it. That's what I usually, if I can't, if I get frustrated, I put it aside and try it later on the day. And you and I had talked, Jules, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
not feeling 100%, life was life. And as Monet Exchange
Yeah.
says, love you, Monet. And, yeah, I just had it. And then, I got into bed, Julie and I finished chatting away, and I got into bed and pulled up Wordle again and was looking at the word, and then was like, oh, you clever bitches. And it was deity, D-I-T-Y. I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay. Oh, hi, everyone. Hey. So that was something.
yeah, dude.
That was something.
They'll
I was
get
like,
you.
oh. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? How clever is that? And I think the other thing that's important is that we recognize these signs that we have happening in front of us, and yeah, take it for it. So I felt that was a little like, it's all right, girl, why don't you get some rest? Okay. And things
Right.
have
Like,
improved.
okay.
So, yep.
And
Yeah.
that's
And the
good.
other thing I'll just tell you guys that we've been doing, well, thank you. The other thing that I'll tell you guys that we've been doing is a 75 soft.
75
It's
extra
70,
soft.
it's the soft, extra
75
soft.
squish. The softest 75 you
75
could ever do.
Charmin. Right.
Oh,
Right. So,
I almost
yeah, because I
forgot we were
can't.
doing that.
Well, I don't think you have, because, well, let me explain, y'all. Sorry. So thank you for joining our chaos. So 75 hard is where it is based off of, and 75 hard is this idea. I forget who the author is. I apologize. If we remember later, or I find it, I'll put it in the chat later for a replay if you're watching. And hi, by the way, those that are watching on the replay. But it was written by this gentleman who talks about if you do these things for 75 days, and they're 5 or 6 kind of tough things to do. You have to be really disciplined, I think. Or it's going to grow you into some discipline. You have to drink so much water and eat a special diet. I believe there's no alcohol on it. Read 10 pages a day. And there's a couple, exercise, what is it? 90 minutes a day, 45 has to be outside, 45 minutes has to be outside.
Or that's the hard. I
Um,
was like, wait, 90? I
that's the
haven't been doing
hard.
that.
No. I'm talking about the
Sorry.
75. So
Yeah, yeah.
while it sounds easy, I think, you're like, oh, I just have to do these things. Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline. So then they have 75 soft, which is a modified version. Right. Okay, great. Well, I can't do 5 or 6 things right now. My life is stupid busy.
Girl.
So yeah, right. And I know everybody's life is busy, and I'm sure that may be an excuse, but I can't set myself up for failure right now. So I know 75, even soft, is too hard for me right now. So what Julie and I have been doing, they're like, get to the point, Mary. What Julie and I have been
No, you're
doing
fine.
is we'll make a
Keep going. Sorry.
list. It's okay. And we'll pick a couple of things off that list. So we may look at, like, right now, like mine is journaling, and I'm logging my food every day.
Hey.
So yeah, so I'm getting momentum with that. Journaling has been, I think today's day 7, and then my logging of the food is day 3. So really I'm 3 days in. But yeah, it's just an idea to kind of move these habits into your life in a way that's attainable for you.
And just
So
a
if you're
reminder
able to do, go
of
ahead, girl.
75
Yeah.
extra soft cushion marshmallow land. You don't have to reset every time you miss a day or we'll go crazy.
Right.
So your
Oh,
weekend.
right. And yes. That's 75 hard. If you miss one thing one day, you go back to the start.
You just punch me in the
So
face. It'd be the end. I would be so hard on myself. That's why I
I've been
can't
done.
do it that way yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because 75 hard for me, and Julie, I think I can speak to you, is like 75 extra hard, like 75
It's like
titanium. Like it's
75 hard
just
on myself.
right. Yeah.
Perfectionist activation of just like it. That's my problem.
Well,
It hits
same,
that
same.
perfectionistic part of me that's just like, "Oh, are you the firstborn daughter? Did you make a mistake? You're terrible.
Yeah.
You've
Isn't
ruined
that fun? I
everything."
love that. Yeah,
And I'm like,
you
I
you ruined
I
all of it.
have, I
Yeah,
have,
whoops, sorry.
my bad.
Yeah, so that's where we are, guys. So I just say to you, if you've decided to make improvements in your life and you want to do that, which is a good thing to do, um, take it for what you can do at that point. I mean, it may not be the 75 hard or the 75 soft, or we are 75, extra squishy. But it's something.
Right.
I just look at it, something's always better than nothing, you know?
No, it's true, and,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I agree.
yeah,
One of my friends at work started doing it,
yeah,
and
you
then
can
she was like, "I need somebody to do this with," and I was like, "Well, I'll do it partially with you," and then I'm like, "Mary, let's do this." So,
yeah,
accountability all around.
I'll jump in. I'll jump in. It's
Like,
fun.
let's go.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah,
it's been helpful, like especially when I strong down Julie last night into journaling. I thought it was great.
because it was 2 weeks in, and I hadn't done it once because I get mad. I don't wanna feel my feelings.
Who wants to feel their feelings right now? I mean,
Girl,
really.
because I have a lot of them, and they're mostly angry or sad. They're mostly
We
angry or
got them right
sad.
now. Yeah. There
There's a lot happening.
it's not the there's a lot happening. So I don't know if you guys are experiencing it, but if you are, we just want to say we are experiencing it with you. So
Yeah,
don't be hard on yourself, easy to say. But yeah, please take it easy. What you can do is what you can do right now. If things change, you can do
yeah,
something different.
right.
It's I think right now 2025 has not been so gentle with us yet. Um, so
No.
yeah, guys. You're like,
Part of me's
uh,
like, and then I you know how I get. We were doing a live once, and then I was like, "We should do this," or, like, we were doing one of yours. It's how this whole thing started. It was like, "We should do a podcast."
yeah,
Part of me it's like, "Do I need to start a Discord that we can do, like, 75 marshmallow together and everybody kinda gets in there and talks to each other? Do we wanna do that?" So,
yeah.
that's where my brain went.
Well,
Sorry.
that hey guys, if that's something you're interested in, we can do it. It'd be kind of fun.
Alright.
75 marshmallow, yeah,
75
75
marshmallow,
squishy.
hex the
Yeah,
patriarchy. We'll just do whatever. Whatever feels good, and you can pick which channels you wanna be a part of. It's fine.
right.
It's
It's
fine. It's fine.
oh gosh. It's good. It's good.
So
Oh, all right.
so why am I feeling like this, Mary?
I,
Tell me
I was
about
gonna
planets.
say this was an excellent segue into what the planets are doing in March. Figured we'd let you guys know because I know some folks have said to me recently, like, I'm losing my mind. Is it me?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
no, not exactly. But the first thing I'll tell you guys about, we've had a couple of big things happen um, right away, the beginning of March. And some of you may have heard about it, or some of you haven't, because a lot of the like news articles will talk about Venus retrograde. So
Yeah.
March 1st, Venus went into retrograde. So here's what that means. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, relates to listen, I'm sorry. 75 flaccid. Sorry, y'all.
Oh,
That
why
was
didn't I
cute,
see that?
Elizabeth.
That's funny. Why am I
it, it's on Facebook. So I
There
don't
it
know
is,
if
I
you can
see it
see it on the
now.
chart. There you
I
go.
was
All
on the
right.
wrong thing. I'm not good at technology, but I work in IT. Continue. Venus retrograde.
You are good at technology. Come on, girl. This is not easy stuff that we do. All right. So Venus retrograde in Aries. Venus, planet of love and beauty, relationships, the finer things. Things you should not do under a Venus retrograde if you can help it. Do not make a big change to your appearance during Venus retrograde. Do not cut your hair. Do not get, if you can help it, do not get plastic surgery. Um, what else?
And maybe, like, don't cut your hair in, like, a I don't have bangs, I want bangs. Like, if we have scheduled appointments, are
Right.
we okay for, like, our
Oh,
regular
right.
root
Which
touch-up?
yes, that's fine. It's changes. So you don't want to make big changes. So like um I might have been just when Venus was turning retrograde. I was at the hair salon and
Yeah.
I was talking to Rhea, who I love her so much,
You're
about
right.
going gunmetal gray. So I was going to change my hair color to gunmetal gray. And of course, her next question was, okay, so when do you want to do that? Because it's going to be a process.
Right.
So she always
Good
knows because we
call.
have to change this all up. Yeah. And I said,
Mhm.
I don't know yet. And I want to sit and think about it a little bit. But, changing it during Venus retrograde, even though I thought about it, I might want to wait
Maybe
until
we
after
wait.
April 12th. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
call. Good
Um,
call.
yeah. So that's a big thing. Now, the other thing that's going to come up is relationships. And so there may be, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to break up during Venus retrograde, but something's going to come to the surface that you have to look at.
Mhm.
If you've been ignoring, the elephant in the room, it's going to become very like right in your face.
Apparent.
So these are
Yeah.
things isn't that nice a way to say it? I love you. Thank you. It's
You're
gonna
fine.
become apparent. So
Be nice to
so
yourself in this
what's
Venus
important?
retrograde.
All right. Yes, you're right. Um, so it's important that you start to clear things up. This also talks about your relationship to yourself. So my Aries folks that are out there, Aries rising folks, if you know your astrology, yes, girl, I know. This is why it's hitting you a bit
Join us.
hard,
We'll have an
Jules.
Aries moon group.
Um, yeah, really, for
An
folks with
Aries
Aries
moon
moon, my
support
heart
group.
for you. I'm telling you, yeah, it's
Please continue. I'm sorry.
it's not. I can't help but laugh. Okay, so we have that going on. That goes through April 12th. The second thing that's come up is we have Mercury moving into Aries also. So your language is going to be fiery. Yeah. You might finally say things that you've needed to say. You might um take a bold statement out there. So you go into your boss and you say, you know what, I really think I need this, or I'm worried about that. Like it's, your language, your words are strong at this point, but they can also be, oof,
Yeah.
it can be something. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the other thing you want to think
We could
about is like
possibly,
watching your tongue a little bit.
and we could use that energy for good, right? It doesn't just mean that we're going to like totally wreck
Right.
ourselves if we say anything,
N-
right?
no. That's why I'm saying like you can no. It's
Please.
it's it's saying things. No, you're fine, but it's saying things in a way that's strong. You're strong about where your stand is.
Mm,
So there's no, I'm worried about going to the boss. I'm worried about that. Nope. You're going to be like, I want a meeting.
here's the
So
deal.
yeah, here's the deal. Right. So that's
Yeah.
the other thing that's happening. So you may find that people are flaring up, you know, um,
Hmm.
then another little good news story.
We like
Mercury's going
good
to go
news story.
retrograde March
Oh,
14th. Mercury
sarcasm.
retrograde. Yeah. Just a little bit of sarcasm. Yeah.
And don't
Um,
we have an eclipse? Is that at the same time?
yeah, that's where I was gonna, talk
All
about
right,
the
talk about
eclipses
Mercury
too.
retrograde first.
Um,
Sorry. I'm
yeah, I figured yeah. So here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna say to you all, these retrogrades that happen are not, I wouldn't call them bad because everything is reflective of how you deal with things or what your filters are. So Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, it's given us the chance to go within, to slow down. And especially, here in the US, we don't stop. We're like,
yeah.
we will keep doing things and not taking a look at ourselves. And this makes us like, it puts us on pause to
Yeah.
take a look within.
Yeah.
And it gives you a chance not to get hit by a spiritual 2x4. So there's that. So just to say that, like, it's again, being in the sign of Aries, guys, look at your charts, figure out where your Aries is in your chart. So even if you don't have any planets in Aries, you have a house in Aries.
Hmm.
So you can check out kind of where that's highlighting. So like, Julie, if you don't mind me,
No,
in
go
your
for it.
example, Julie has Sun Aries, Moon in Aries. In Virginia, are you Aries rising? Or are you Taurus?
No, in Alabama, I'm Taurus in Virginia, but I have my
Me too.
Chiron is in Taurus. There's something else in Aries.
Yeah.
My
So,
Juno's in
but
Aries. There's a
uh,
bunch.
yeah. So now she has going by all that, her sun, her moon, her Venus, you said, Jules?
Juno, I think. I'm gonna
Juno,
pull it
Juno.
up.
Okay.
You keep
Yeah.
going about those.
Yeah. So what's happening is right now that's highlighting her sun, which is personality, her at her core, who she is. It's highlighting her moon, which is how she expresses emotions, intuition, things like that. And Juno is partnerships, which can be marriage. They can be work. They can be anything. So they're all sitting around her sun in Aries. So right now, if Julie was a client of mine, I would say it's going to be a time of deep reflection because it is hitting your sun and moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're all in the 12th
So
house.
right. And 12th house means past life stuff, karmic stuff, how you see institutions, it's the suffer or save kind of feeling. So yeah,
Mhm.
Julie's got some things to take a look at and work through if she so chooses. Now here's the other thing, guys, if we tell you this as astrologers, and you don't want to work with the energy so much, then you don't. But when it comes back around again, it may not be as favorable of how it's working with you. It may be, an opposition. It may be, ways that it's going to kind of knock you around. So just a thought, if you feel these things coming up, roll with the energy. And what that means is if you feel like you should journal. If you
Yep.
feel like you should, start exercising, because Aries does, their fire signs, they like to move. That's the way you work out things. People do runs, they do they go to the gym and they just zone out. Great. Or take a walk,
Yeah.
whatever that's going to work. So it's just working with the energy, flowing with the energy, and what your intuition's rolling up in front of you, because you'll get this little like pull,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. So
Yep.
Julie's like, uh it's a
No,
little
no. Well,
intense
I
right
mean,
now.
yes, we talk about this every day. It's been
Yeah.
9 days of me being like, Mary. But also, like,
Hmm.
that's why, that when I'm like, I don't know that I'm gonna go for my walk, and you're like, what's wrong with you? Are we in
Yeah.
like, this is not good. What's happening?
No. What is happening right
So,
now? This is not you, right? And
no,
that's the other thing, folks. If you hear someone that usually does things that says they're not going to go do it, like I'll go, oh, why?
check in on
What's
them.
going? Why? Yeah, what's happening? Yeah,
And I'll be like,
I
stupid psychic best friend.
yeah.
Damn it.
Well, so that's the thing. That's the thing.
I'm kidding.
Encourage and support your friends. Gently bully them if you need to, which is bully with love. Um,
Fully with love.
you know, only with love, So, but that's the thing. Like, encourage people to keep their coping mechanisms that really help them. And I know, Julie, your
Yeah.
dancing or your walks really help. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They do.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
they
pretty
do.
bad when I'm like, yeah, I don't wanna. So,
I do.
good call.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I will talk about the lunar eclipse. We got a full moon in Virgo. That's March 13th. And then on the other side, we have new moon in Aries, March 29th. It's a solar eclipse. And I'm just making sure I have my notes in front of me. So we've got 2 weeks where there's big, you think a full
Mhm.
moon's big? Well, the eclipse along with it makes it like more dramatic.
Huge.
So
Yeah.
the endings could be dramatic, or they could be a little like, whoa, that's more than I was expecting. With it being in Virgo, our Virgo folks can be sensitive, but also they can be very systematic. So you might find someone that's getting upset because you're either criticizing their system, you're mentioning their system, whatever it is. So then you're going to have this, well, you don't like what I'm doing. You don't like, wait, what's, so that's the endings that's going to happen in Virgo. It could also be around health stuff, could be around jobs. So it doesn't mean you're going to lose your job. It doesn't mean your health is going to have a problem, but it may show you like, hey, there's some things we got to look at here.
Sure.
So yeah. So, and then with it being opposite of the new moon in Aries, it's new beginnings around those things that are around leadership and your desires and the things you do for work and just you as an individual. There's going to be new beginnings there. So it's not a bad thing that it's coming up and you're coming out new into like a fiery place. Sometimes we have to burn it down in order for it to lift up. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but we have to rise from the ashes sometimes. So that's why. So after March 13th, guys, with Mercury being in retrograde, a lot of planets sitting in Aries, it's keep a cooler head if you can. And, you know, this is not necessarily a political talk, folks, but with it being in Aries, it is partly leadership. So we might see some things happening politically. And I know we've been seeing a lot happening quickly. Well, this might get even more fiery. So even like with your friends or people that you love, a subject about politics or within politics might not be a thing to talk about right now. With if you don't want to have like a conflict with family, you want to go out and protest and get your voice heard and you know, let people know what you feel about an issue. That will be a great time. You may be moved to action on that. But also, like I said, on the other side, if you have a family member and you're opposite on these issues, this could get really heated. So yeah, so be careful. Yeah. Well, that was a lot of me talking.
I love you talking though, and me interrupting.
This is how we work, guys.
They know.
So
they know.
Yeah, they know. It's true. Yeah. So Jules, we need to read some cards, yeah?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So yeah. Jules, I have someone at my door, folks. So
I was
Jules,
gonna
can
say,
you talk
sounds
for
like
a minute?
somebody's there. Yeah, you
I'll be
go
right
do your
back.
thing.
All right.
Hey, let's see if I can do this by myself. I don't know if we can. Mary, we can still hear you. Can I mute her? It's a party, guys. That's how it goes. But yeah, Mary knows everything. I am apparently floundering without her, and I love you all. Let's see. So we'll do some cards. You know how it goes. If you want a card pulled for you, go ahead and put I'd like a card in the comments, and we will add you to our list. I know it is the first day. It's like early on a Sunday, so I don't know that many people are here. Worst case, we'll do like a poll for everybody. I won't let you guys see the messiness that are cards that have been pulled for me lately because it's been a lot. But that said, I've got all that Aries in me, so that's how that goes. Let's see what else. What else? So here comes Mary, I think it sounds like. If you want a card, all right, awesome, Elizabeth. We'll get your card and Mary's back. So you have the best at cards back.
No. Thank you for
I had a moment
filling
to
that
watch
in.
it on the replay where I was just like, wow, can I do this by myself? I love Mary and she woo.
Guys,
I don't know that I'm a solo artist.
Yeah. It's like, well, you are because you did it. It's like live TV. It really is. So so it was so guys, I live on a dead end and there's a bunch of them where I live, and Amazon packages and food deliveries always get thrown in the wrong place. And so the person who was knocking on the door had brought it over from the place, and she was like, I just wanted to make sure you got your package. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Oh, well, that was sweet of her.
Yeah, it was super sweet. So yeah, so that's what that was. And usually my mom has a visitor around this time, but we didn't think she was coming today.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so it was a whole thing, guys. Live TV. All right. Woo. All right, so
live internet.
Live internet.
All right, yes. So people are putting if they would like a card in the chat. Okay. We've got a couple so far, and I said I know it's early, so if it was just us, depending on what went down, I might do a collective reading, but I know we got a couple so far. So we've got Elizabeth and Bettina.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start with Elizabeth.
Yes.
All right. All right, Elizabeth, hold on. I'm just shuffling. Okay. All right, so we've got 6 of Cups up, the Devil up, and then the 8 of Cups upright. So all of these are upright. I know we see the Devil and we're like, oh my God, like what is happening? But I
It'll
think
be
the Devil
okay.
really here is saying, yeah, of course. You know, a lot of times I look at the Devil, and this is where I'm focusing in on. When I look at the Devil, it is those things that we're tying ourselves to. So sometimes we have ideas in our brains about ourselves or a situation that is one way to look at it. It's not to say it's wrong, but I think there's another way to look at it, to look at how you can reframe the situation. I think it's sort of like let yourself go from that thought or let yourself go that belief. And it's interesting because on either side of the Devil, I have the 6 of Cups and I have the 8 of Cups. And I look at this as like either the happiness or the sadness can be what you see. And yeah, and I think honestly, let me think of how I can say this. I think there's a different way to go about what you're doing right now, Elizabeth, that's important to you. So like say you've written a book and you're looking for an agent, there's a different way to do it. You know, if you're looking to date, yeah, there's dating sites, but maybe look at a different way. So I think that's what's important right now is that kind of big thing that you're working on. There may have to be an alternative for you to make it happen. So if that makes sense. Yeah, gotta look outside the box, as the kids say in corporate.
Yeah, and pulled a
Yeah.
couple cards from this Green Witches Oracle deck to go with that, and it
Ooh.
matches up. Basically, it's the idea of like the old patterns or the early growth, like healthy patterns, early growth. It's inverted, but I took that as like maybe what you would normally do in that situation isn't what is it's not the obvious like what's actually going to work this time. So and then what we
Mhm.
got for that was gratitude and releasing burdens was the second card, and that one's upright. So it's kind of like
Oh.
you can thank for yourself for the work that you've done and like make sure you're paying gratitude to all the things in your life that you may not see or are looking at. Like take the time to look at that and letting go of the stuff that isn't helping you anymore, which might be these old ways of doing things or like the traditional pattern if you're talking about a book or something, and it'll leave the
Mhm.
space for the new way to come in, and then you'll get some movement again. Maybe
Mm.
that, maybe. Mary's
Yeah.
better at this than I am.
I no. Listen, I stop. I like this idea of doing things a different way. Again, if you're, for Elizabeth, this is, focus for her, but that could also be for someone that's watching or someone on the replay, that might be resonating with you too. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Elizabeth.
You're
But that's, I
welcome.
think for all of us, like that resonated with me. I'm reading and I'm like, oh, maybe some of these things I need to get done. I just got to look at a different way. So
Ooh, there you go.
there we go. Yeah. All right. And then
Bettina.
Bettina, she would like a card. Oh, Bettina. All right.
Yes,
See
please.
what we got. Okay. So, Bettina, I have the King of Pentacles reversed, 3 of Cups reversed, and the Empress reversed. Now, reversals don't necessarily mean like blocks or bad things. It could be things in waiting, or it could be
Mhm.
things that haven't happened. And when I look at this is saying to me, you're looking for more stability right now. And I know right now feels like it's it things are a little chaotic, unknown. Um, but I would say we're looking at, a few more months before the stability comes. And I keep getting the number 10 around it. So I feel like October, I'll be honest. But at that time, it there's a door that opens here. Um,
Ooh.
yeah. And the other thing I would say, Bettina, is like, you want to investigate it, but you got to go through the door a little bit to get some more information. So, someone may ask you about, would you be interested in this and that? And you can say, yeah, and ask questions about it. But I think before you turn it down, it may be like, well, I would be interested in hearing more, or I'd be interested in talking to someone else about it too. Like I think it's a little more investigation when someone gives you the idea than outright saying no or saying yes and jumping in and not feeling comfortable. So that's what I would say is, so you got a few more months of things feeling like, I don't know where things are going. Like, I don't know what the next steps are, but you're going to get an opportunity, like I said, and be open to at least hearing more. You can still say no to it, but I think if it is a no to that particular opportunity, the door's already open. There's more that's going to come your way. So, all right.
There you go. Yep. And that
Yeah.
matches up over here too, where it might feel like I got lavender reverse, which is like tranquility, kindness, self-care. Again, like Mary said, it's not that it's the opposite of that or it's not happening. It's like you may feel like a little more anxious or like what's going to happen or how is this going to go? Or maybe that's me. Maybe I'm reading my anxiety at the moment. But I think it's like, but you got cup of tea, which is patience and reassessment, which is exactly what Mary was saying. Like it's going to take a little time, but like
Mhm.
maybe you just need to look at it, get some more information, work your way through it that way, and the right things are going to come through. Just
Mhm.
take a little time.
A little more time. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard when it's the unknown. Oh, huge hug to you, Bettina. Um, it's when the unknown's there, every day gets scary. I get that, but it's
Yeah.
hanging there is really what we're trying to say to you, Bettina. Really. And then I looked at the back of my deck just for everybody that's out there,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether you're
Oh,
live
nice.
or on the replay. Yeah, so I got 3 of Wands, and for everybody out there, it really is like, what are we planning for the future? What do we want? To me, the 3 of Wands is always like, let me look into my future, or look into the future and see what's next for me.
Yeah.
So reflect. This is a really good time to reflect, especially this month of March. You may be feeling like, I hate everyone and everything is stupid. And you want to stay away from people, that's fine. But also, like, then don't stay away from yourself. And I had said this to someone recently that, what you've dealt with on the outside is much worse than you would ever deal with what's sitting on the inside. So if you're afraid of that reflection, don't be, because you've already been through slaying dragons, right? The dragon inside you just needs to be woken up. So just something to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I pulled for everybody, I pulled the hedge card, which is potential, boundaries, and indecision. So I think it's all of the, you know, we're not sure what's going to
Yeah.
happen next. And sometimes when we're really unsure, or you have a lot of ideas and potential, like, or we just don't know where it's going to go, it's hard to make that choice of what to do next, especially when everything's kind of up in the air right now, not just personally, but globally. So, set your boundaries, try to take care of yourself. I think in that way is possibly one of the better ways to do that according to the spirits at the moment. So there we go.
Yeah. There we go. All
Go
right.
team.
I love
Let's
this.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked a lot today.
Ooh,
We talked a lot.
we
Yeah.
talked a lot.
So we did. We did. Guys, we'll be back with some podcast shows in the next couple of weeks. And we're also going to do another live this month, but we have not picked the date or time yet. So
We'll
watch the
let you
page. We
know.
do have, we'll let you know. Julie, you usually do the socials. So where can people find us?
Oh, well, you can find us on Facebook. I haven't done this in a while.
Sorry.
Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. No, you're great. At High Priestess Hype Club. You can find us on our website at hypeclub.live. You can find Mary at marydalba.com and me at julieatkinson.com. Email us any questions, topics you'd like to talk about, your favorite tea recipe, whatever. Anything that seems like you
Ooh,
want to share
yeah.
with us, do it. Cute oracle
Yeah.
deck or something you find, be like, because we'll buy it and we need
We'll
dopamine.
totally buy it.
And right. And but you can send us all of that at
Mhm.
High Priestess Hype Club at gmail.com.
Yep. That's fabulous. And Julie, how can people find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky, which I'm really trying to dive into, at which I'm trying.
Yeah.
And I think I've said the website. And yeah, come get some Reiki.
Okay. There you go.
Mary will
Yeah.
read things for you. I will send you energy.
There
It'll
you
work
go.
out.
Yes. Yes. So juliatkinson.com, guys. She just actually refreshed the website, so it's brand new. If you've been there before, you can check it out again. MaryDalba.com, guys, for my website again. And hypeclub.live, right? Jules, hypeclub.live.
Yeah, hypeclub.live. And if you want a dual reading with some tailored magic for you for the month, go to hypeclub.live and pick up your special reading from both of us.
Yes, yes.
And we'll
It's
get
your
it to you right
witch's
away.
brew.
Cameo
Yes.
style. You get a whole video and
Yeah.
everything.
I know. Yeah. And so we use astrology and we look at the tarot cards, and then I do the astrology part. Julie does the magical recommendations part. That's a good way to say recommendations. And we just talk and hype you up. So feel free to
We
do that too.
recommend this for you. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. We're gonna hype you up. Absolutely.
That's right.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. For folks that have watched on the replay, thank you guys so much. And we will see you again soon. And always remember, you are magic. Bye, guys.
Bye. For real, bye. No, I'm kidding.
I'll meet you on Zoom. I'll meet you on Zoom, girl.
Okay. Okay. I think we're still live.
I know. I'm trying. So StreamYard.
We're professionals.
Here we go.